In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I make reversible flare bikini shorts. If you don't want to make these shorts into reversible bikini shorts and you just want to make them into lounge shorts, then I did make a video on how to make them that way as well, and I'll leave the link to that in the description box below. First, we can go over the materials that we'll need to make these shorts. You'll need a sewing machine with a stretch stitch, a serger. If you don't have a serger, I made a video on how to make bikinis without a serger, and I'll leave that in the description box below. I like to use clear elastic to make my bikinis, an elastic application serger foot, matching polyester or woolly nylon thread, pins and or sewing clips if you'd like to use them, fabric weights, a rotary cutter, fabric scissors, a small safety pin, a seam ripper, a loop turner, and swimsuit fabric. I'm using 2 different fabrics to make the shorts reversible, and an acrylic ruler. You'll also need a pattern cut out to the size that you'd like to make, and I'll leave a link in the description box to my pattern if you'd like to follow along exactly. You should have a front pattern piece and a back pattern piece. First, determine what color you would like your strap to be. Then you'll cut out 2 front pieces and 2 back pieces of the first fabric, and 2 front pieces and 2 back pieces of the second fabric. Here I'm cutting out 1 strap at 1 1/4 inch wide by 50 inches. And then I'll move on to cutting out my pattern pieces. I also keep track of the front pieces versus the back pieces by using a pink clip for the front pieces and a blue clip for the back pieces. And I do this because the front pieces and the back pieces look so similar. So here we have 2 front pieces and 2 back pieces of one of the fabrics. So just place the matching pieces so that right sides are facing. And then we'll do the same for the 2 front pieces and 2 back pieces of the other fabric. Next, serge along this curved edge for all pieces. And this is what the pieces should look like once you've serged that edge. Next, open up the front piece and the back piece and place them so that right sides are facing. Line up the 2 sides as well as the crotch and serge all 3 edges together. And do the same thing for the pieces made of the other fabric. Next, add elastic to the serger and serge your bikini strap. Fold the strap in half long ways so that right sides are facing and serge the edge. If you'd like a more in-depth tutorial on how to make bikini straps, I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. And then I'll use my loop turner to turn the bikini strap right side out. And this is what your pieces should look like once you have serged the sides and the crotch. And next, flip one piece right side out. It doesn't matter which one. And place it inside of the one that is still inside out. Make sure the front pieces line up with the front pieces of the other fabric, and the clips make it really easy to tell the difference between the front and the back pieces. I use them to hold both pieces together. Next, serge all the way around the top edge. This is what the shorts will look like once you've serged all the way around the top edge. Next, flip them and tuck one side inside of the other. Next, I use my sewing machine to create a 1/4 inch tunnel, and I do this by sewing with a straight stitch 1/4 inch from the top edge, but you can use a stretch stitch if you prefer. Just make sure that the tunnel is at least 1/4 inch wide. And this is what the shorts will look like after you sew the tunnel. And next, I'm going to create the 2 holes for the strap to go through in the front of the shorts. I use my seam ripper to create 2 holes about 1/4 inch wide. Once I've made the holes, I use my sewing machine to secure both sides of each hole so that they don't unravel. But you have to be very careful with this step to make sure that you don't sew all the way down, because you still want your strap to be able to pull through. This is what it looks like after I backstitched a few times at both sides of each hole. As you could see, I didn't sew all the way down because the strap still needs to be able to go through the holes. And next, for the leg openings, fold each fabric in 1/4 inch and pin all the way around. And once you finish pinning, you can use a zigzag stitch all the way around to secure it, and you'll do the same thing for the other leg opening. And this is what the shorts look like once I finish the leg openings. And next, I'll grab my safety pin and pin it to the strap. And then I'll put the safety pin in the first hole. And pull it all the way around the tunnel until I reach the second hole. And then I'll pull it out of the second hole. And here I'm just adjusting it so that it's even. And next, tie the ends of the straps in knots. And you're finished with your reversible flare bikini shorts. I adore these shorts and I love to wear them over my bikini bottoms. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.